Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I am using a Samsung Q2U. I am using the USB portion of it, the connection, not the XLR, and it's going directly into my laptop. I normally have a weighted microphone holder that sits on my desk, but I just had to do a few quick audio things, so I decided to hold the Samsung in my hand. I'm told that it doesn't make a lot of hand noise, so we'll see what happens with that. I normally do keep it in the holder, but life. What else? My recording space. I am in a room with a sofa, my desk and chair, 2 monitors, my husband's desk, some bookshelves. I'm now turning to look at the bookshelves. Bookshelves, a giant laundry drying rack, and there are big sliding glass doors. I'm still turning around to look at them. Big sliding glass doors behind me with curtains that are cinched in the middle, so the curtains do not cover all of the glass. The door, it's a regular sized sliding glass door, and it's about a quarter of the way open, so there is a small chance that there is some residual street noise, although our apartment is in the back of the building, so that probably isn't too much. There probably isn't too much of that. It's not too terribly high of a ceiling, especially for Europe. I'm over in Albania right now, and there isn't a lot of stuff on the bookshelves in the room because we're just here for a few months, let's just say. So it's kind of a sparse space. So there's probably quite a bit of reverb happening. But that's one of the things I like about the Samson Q2U is it tends to really keep the sounds of the voice and not much else. Now, normally when I have it in the holder, I have it right in the corner of my mouth, which is what I'm doing now. For me, because of how I sit and that I'm right-handed, I generally have it in the left, near the left corner, the left bottom corner of my mouth is usually where I have the microphone, and I have it there now. But because I'm sitting here holding it with both hands to try not to move too much, I have it more directly below my bottom lip. So I'll be very curious to see how this turns out. I don't have a pop filter, which is why I usually hold it on the left side to avoid all of my popping P's, which you probably just heard right then. Wait, let me do it again. Now I'm back on the corner left side. I'm having way too much fun with this now. Now I'm on the corner left side again, and I'll say popping P's. So that probably was less of a problem. Now it's back in the front of my mouth. I do have a foam mic cover on. Just for visual sake, I'll let you know that it's gray. I normally have bright red or pink, but I don't know. I thought I'd change it out the past few weeks, so I put a gray one on there. So that should get rid of some of the popping P's, some of the plosives, but it certainly doesn't get all of them. So I generally have it on the side of my mouth. I think that's all. Oh, I do have a light. I have one of those live streaming mobile phone holder ring light thingies attached to my desk with a clip, and it is on. I haven't noticed any sounds showing up in my recordings, although it is plugged into... Oh, there is a sound from the street. I don't really even know what that is. That's not an ambulance. Anyway, it is plugged into my computer also, but I've never heard any sounds, and I've had it there for a couple of months at least. Okay, so I think that's all of my recording space. What I use the microphone for, I have a number of different podcasts in the Geopats podcast network. The network is just my growing audio curiosity of different interviews that I have with people around the world about different topics, like Geopats language is about languages, Geopats books is about books. I have 2 about podcasting now, which is embarrassing. Geopats podcasting I talk to different people about different aspects of podcasting and Geopats podcast editing. You can guess what that one's about too. I also have Podcast Review Day podcast to support the event that we do on the 8th of every month. So for me, it's podcasts. However, I do have a YouTube component for some of the podcasts. There might eventually be one for all of them. I'm not sure. But I still use the microphone in the same way, no matter if it's just audio or video. For YouTube, I also sometimes take my phone and record outside because I like getting videos of the park that I live near. But the microphone does not come with me when I do that. I don't record with any instruments. I try not to sing because my singing voice is not terribly good. I don't do any voice acting. I would love to do voiceovers, but I don't do any right now. What I have learned by using this particular microphone is that I really love it. It keeps the bassiness of my voice. I also tried out the ATR 2100, which, although it's a very crisp, clean, beautiful sound, it elevates the sound of my voice. And I didn't realize how much I preferred my voice sounding bassy until it didn't sound as bassy. The Samson Q2U keeps my voice sounding what I think my voice sounds like, if not lower, which I kind of like. And it's very forgiving for room sounds. It also does pick up on like that clicky sound I just did, which I didn't even realize I did. One of my clients does that, and I have noticed in the past few months that I have started to... Wait, now I can't do it. I can't do it intentionally. I can only do it accidentally. But I make that sound now without knowing it, which I had never done before. And I know that because I've edited all my own podcasts for the past 4 years. That is definitely a new thing that I'm doing. So if it's something that I'm doing with my mouth, the Samson Q2U picks it up and I tend to get rid of it. But if it's in the room, it's generally not too picked up. But if it's extremely loud, then it will be there. But I think that's the only thing I've really learned about the mic is about the bassiness of my own voice. And the directions of the plosives. But I knew that before. I taught language before, and so I had to teach students how to make certain plosive sounds. Ironically, I used Audacity for that back in the language learning classroom, so some overlap there. So I think those are the only things that I really learned from the mic. One link to your content. Oh, okay. A link to my content is stephfuccio.com, STEPHFUCCIO.com. So people can hear the finished product. Yeah. Again, if you go there, you'll see a tab for podcasts, and you can pick whichever podcast floats your boat. I don't know what polar pattern or mode is, so I'm going to skip that part. The Samson Q2U does come with the, I don't know if this is what that means, but it comes with the XLR cable and the USB cable, and I tend to use the USB one now. I did have a Scarlett eye-to-eye for a while when I was interviewing people in person in the before time, but that hasn't been the case for a long time, and so I ended up, when I moved countries, I ended up getting rid of the Scarlett and my second microphone, which is when I used the XLR cable, so I haven't been using that for quite a while. I honestly couldn't tell a big difference in the sound. It was just a lot easier to have two mics on two tracks with using the Scarlett, so that's why I used the XLR cable then. I don't think there's anything else that I have missed. Yeah, that's it. Thank you to Heather for doing this project, and thank you for everybody for participating. And of course, there's a loud noise in the background when I'm about to wrap up, because that is how recordings go. Thank you so much to everybody participating in this. This is a fantastic project, and I cannot wait to hear other people's submissions to this. Thank you. Bye-bye.